Okay, we've been working on our classroom-based assessment, communicating through sketches. So far what we've done is you should have chosen your theme by now. So in other words, it was going to be a specific theme of maybe sport or agricultural machinery or geometry in home ec or geometry in golf or something like that. You've picked your final topic. We had to brainstorm a page. So brainstorming a page, we said, was going through your book and coming up with a list of all of the stuff we've learned in tech graphics, and I'll show you that in a second. Then the last day we were talking about doing a picture collage, so in other words inspiration. In other words, I'm going to pick my topic of learning geometry about trains and train travel. So what I have is a picture collage of loads of pictures to do with train travel, and I'll show you that in a second. And then today's part that we're going to do is we're going to learn some new examples of geometry. So this is section 3. We want to learn some new examples of geometry. So we're going to use the internet to learn new graphic or geometric principles. I have a list of examples up here. So examples of those geometric principles are solids in contact, enlargement and reduction, geometric solids, scales, intersecting solids, and so on. I'll start first of all by going through the bits we've done. So the first step we said was where we made a brainstorm page of all of the information I've learned about graphics so far. So this is what I already know. So you should all have one of these done by now. So what I already know, I've gone through, for example, what I know about lines and angles. I know acute angles, obtuse, reflex angles, so on. I've learned about squares, hexagons, pentagons, triangles, and logos, all being examples of polygons. We talked about orthographic projections, elevation plan, end view, and auxiliary views. Development, so package or box, cornetto wrapper, crisp packet, a bean tin, any of those, all examples of developments. Rotations, where we had a car wheel rotating around a gate on a gate post, a door hinge, a shop sign, and I made a full page of the brainstorm pages. So that's what I already know. Then we said we wanted to do our inspiration, and I had my final theme of train travel. So this is my inspiration, and I'm going to be looking at this to get ideas in a second. So I formed a page of loads of different pictures to do with train travel. Some of them are general, so if you look at it, some of them are like a full railway platform or a full bridge or just a train or even a line of carriages. And then I've taken other examples which are a bit more specific. So in other words, all the parts of a train are explained here. And then I've got maybe the wheel and the suspension of the train. I've got the roofs of a platform. I have the mechanism of an old steam train, how the trains join together, and so on, even the horn of the train. So parts of the train and parts of the track, and so on. So we've got general pictures like these, and then we've got very specific pictures like this joiner for joining two carriages together. That is my collage of inspiration. The next bit we're going on to is where you're going to figure out some new examples of graphics. And to do this, you start with the list that we have. So here's my list of graphics. So in other words, I've given you a big huge list here. The idea is that you're going to learn about some of these and try and learn about the ones that you think are going to be related to trains. So we'll say, for example, I have conical spiral. Don't know what the hell that is. If I want to learn about a conical spiral, I just Google what is a conical spiral. And here is my examples. So I look at it here, I can say get an explanation on Wikipedia, or sometimes if I just go to the images, I can look at the images and say, alright, okay, this looks to be a spiral that goes up along a cone. And I'd be pretty sure of that because as I look down through all the images, it's all the same thing. So if I wanted to sketch out a conical spiral, I'd sketch out a cone with a spiral on that. And I'd be thinking of, where's there an example of that? That looks a lot like a spring that you would have when you're putting batteries in the remote, for example. So there would be a real-life example of that. I could sketch that out on my page. So I've got my page here, and I might sketch out a conical spiral. So in other words, in here, I just very, very lightly sketch a cone. Here's my cone shape. And then I'll try and wrap a spiral around that. So in other words, I might wrap the spiral, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there is my conical spiral. And I might even write down that's a spring. So that's one example. I'll do one more and you can do the same yourselves. I come along then and I'll say gears. So you might have gears in a train or a car, you might have gears on a bicycle, you might have conic sections. So I would Google what are conic sections. And again, you could use the word definition. I get it here, conic sections is fine as a plane, but that doesn't make much sense. And then when I come along into my images and I start scrolling down through it, I look at here a cone with a load of slices taken off it. This is a cone with a load of slices taken off it. And as I scan down and see it, through it, I see that a conic section is where I've got shapes that are all cut at various angles. So this keeps popping up here. So in other words, that view, I'd say, right, this seems very popular. Here is a view, and that's actually a YouTube video, so I might end up watching the YouTube video.
The circle.
And so I'll get conic sections explained to me there in a short YouTube video. Back to my sketching then, I might come up and I drew up conic sections were here, or I have my truncated solid. So I looked in conic sections and I discovered that it's ellipses and parabolas. So I might draw a little sketch of an ellipse and write ellipse or parabola there. That is your brainstorm page on new information. So what you're trying to do is figure out as many different new parts of graphics as possible. So again, use the list. Here's the list of items. I'll put a picture of this up. Use your list. Google what they are and try and draw a little sketch of them on a page. So when you're finished, what you should hopefully have is something like I have here, a page with loads of different examples of all the different stuff. What's a geometric solid? Maybe what are gears? I have two different types of gears. What is perspective projection? What is solids in contact? What are truncated solids? And so on. Give it a go. See how you get on.